You've been planning to move to the US for months, maybe even years. You've heard countless stories about the visa process, some of them nightmarish. Long waits, confusing paperwork, rejections that seem impossible to understand. But here's the shocking part. 2024 has seen some of the most sweeping changes to the US visa process in recent memory. And if you're not up to date, you could be in for some serious surprises. Let's start with the most important change. Processing times. The US visa backlog is notorious. In 2022 and 2023, people were waiting for months, sometimes years, for their visa appointments. But 2024 is different. The government has implemented a new priority system that fast-tracks certain visa types, especially for students, tech workers, and healthcare professionals. This is great news if you fall into these categories. For others, well, the process is still slow, but there are now workarounds you can explore, and I'll get into those in just a minute. But first, let's talk about types of visas. There are over 185 different US visa categories, so it's no wonder people get confused. If you thought the visa process was as simple as tourist or work visas, think again. From immigrant visas, like family-sponsored or employment-based green cards, to non-immigrant visas, tourism, work, student, each comes with its own maze of requirements. And trust me, the devil is in the details. One wrong form or missing document, and your visa could be delayed indefinitely. Now, here's a curveball. Did you know that in 2024, the US government is focusing heavily on digitalization? That's right. They're rolling out an online visa renewal system for certain categories. So if you've held a US visa before and need to renew, this could be a game changer. No more trips to the embassy for an interview. Just an online renewal process that saves you time and stress. But it's not all rosy. With digitalization comes a new wave of scams. Cybercriminals have become more sophisticated, targeting applicants with fake websites and phishing schemes. So, how can you avoid falling victim? Here's a simple rule. The US government will never ask you to transfer money via WhatsApp, nor will they email you asking for sensitive information. Always use official government websites, and don't be fooled by too good to be true offers. Speaking of money, let's dive into the cost of obtaining a US visa in 2024. Application fees have gone up in several categories. For instance, the cost of a B1, B2 visitor visa is now $185, up from $160. Second, be honest. The US visa officers are trained to spot inconsistencies, and the moment they sense something's off, your chances of getting approved plummet. People have been denied visas because they tried to hide their ties to the US, like family members living there or previous visa overstays. Transparency is your best friend here. And remember, it's not just about the paperwork. Your interview matters a lot. This is your one shot to make a good impression. So don't treat it like a job interview where you show up late, nervous, or underprepared. Research the kinds of questions you'll be asked, practice with a friend, and walk in with confidence. Visa officers want to see that you're trustworthy and have a clear purpose for your trip. Let's not forget about immigrant visas, which are a whole other ballgame. If you're applying for a family-sponsored green card or an employment-based visa, the stakes are even higher. In 2024, the employment-based categories have seen an increase in applications, particularly from tech professionals. This means tougher competition and stricter reviews. Companies sponsoring employees now need to prove beyond a doubt that there's no US worker who can do the job. If you're one of these applicants, make sure your qualifications are rock solid and that your company's documentation is airtight. And if you're applying for a family-based green card, be prepared for increased scrutiny on your financial support documents. The US government wants to make sure you won't become a public charge. Outro. That's your complete guide to the US visa process in 2024. It's a wild ride, but with the right preparation, you can increase your chances of success. Make sure to stay updated on any changes and double-check everything before hitting submit. If this video helped clarify your path, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that'll keep you ahead of the curve in the world of visas and immigration.